The rumors are true. Yes, indeed, we are finally here. It is time for the MBL team selection show here in Madden 24. So happy to have everybody along with us. Nick Mazesco. I've got the Commissioner Bomber in chat, and I've got Sonny. He's here too. What's up, Sonny? How you doing?
What an intro that was.
Bro, you came in so hot to the Discord chat. I had to like throw a little bit. The rumors are indeed true. We are back. Season Bomber, what, 51? Is that
Yeah,
what
we're calling it 51. I mean,
Okay,
whether
sure.
it was added that or not, we're going with that.
That's what we're going with.
That, so, yeah.
The gang
Here's
is
to another
back together.
50.
Yeah.
Or Sunny, maybe 23 and a half, what did we do last time?
I don't even know anymore.
Listen, we'll just say a number over and over, and people will believe it. It's our team selection show, 1 through 32. This is where our league will pick who they will be for the next, I don't know, 11 months, usually till July. We'll see. We'll see how long it goes. This is always one of the most fun shows, Bomber. It's been, good Lord, 4 years since we've done one of these. 3 years. 3 years. We did in 20.
Yeah.
So 3 years since we've done one of these.
It doesn't feel like that long ago when we start talking and getting in here and getting our voices going back and forth and kind of getting that rapport back. But, man, it really has been a long time. For us three in a chat at once,
God,
even longer.
5 years?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. It's good to be back. Let's get underway.
Absolutely.
We start off at the top, and this one is the least interesting to talk about because it's Bomber. And I don't know.
Go quick on this one.
Yeah. Hey, Sonny, where do you think Bomber's going to go?
Oh, I think he'll go Lions, but I think what's more interesting is he's using a picture that I'm pretty sure that's the same picture he used about 8 years ago when he took the Lions as well.
Dude,
So,
Nice.
That's not true, but that's funny. I think we should do Sunny prediction before every pick and see how many he gets right. See if we can go over 12 and a half over under on correct
I'm
picks.
1 for 1 right now, but I think
So he's going to go with Lions, lock it in. And always you can just announce the pick as we go.
Oh, here we go. Lock it in. Transition over. Let's see if this looks good, sounds good. There it is. It's the Detroit Lions. 78 overall. Bomber, tell me a little bit. I mean, obviously you're a big Lions fan, so that's got to, obviously, it's every time you get to play with the Lions, it's a big deal. But tell me what you like. This roster is probably the best starting roster the Lions have had in, what, 10 since Megatron?
Absolutely. Even better than, about the same defensively. As far as Madden goes, we got a lot of youth, a lot of talent, young guys that are going to be playing big-time roles on the field, day one starter-type players. So I'm excited about the defense growing that team. And then the offense, our offensive line is one of the best in the game. And Jared Goff, all I got to say to this is this, guys. Let's go golfing.
Oh, wow. We're coming in hot with the puns early, ladies and gentlemen. Easy pick, so let's go to our number 2 overall pick, Sonny. It is October. October, lots of mocks out there. I don't know where these top 3 did he just make up 3 favorite teams? Because this is, again, it seems like a pretty simple one of where he's going.
Yeah, it seems like it's Eagles, right? It'd make a ton of sense for Eagles. Eagles are the number 1 team I have in my rankings in terms of Madden franchise teams.
Yeah.
So to me, it seems like a no-brainer here.
Yeah, I mean, hit that sweet transition, and there it is. He is going with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Sonny, you are one of the best at breaking down franchise mode and breaking down which teams are the best. This seems like one, though, like you don't need a whole lot of data on this. One of the best offensive lines in the game. You've got an established quarterback in Jalen Hurts. You've got one of the best wide receiving core. Is there a weakness on this Eagles team?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a weakness here, you're going to look to the run defense. I have them as 26 overall in the run defense. It's about the only thing they fall out of the top 10 for. They've got some salary cap issues they're going to have to figure out here over the next few seasons. Obviously, Jalen Hurts' contract has a big part in that, but something that can be managed. Obviously, Madden's new kind of restructuring functions they've built into the game will make that easier. But yeah, this team's ready to go front to back.
We go to pick number 3, and it is none other than the legend. It is Lip Ripper. Bomber, you've known Lip for about ever. Again, it's tough because this is one of the most fun shows, but it's always the first 3 picks that are kind of like, all right, let's just hustle through these because top 3 teams, you can see what they're listed. There was no chance Lip was going anywhere else.
Yeah, it looks like he's going Pittsburgh Steelers here, but Sonny has to put his pick in. Maybe 12 and a half was a little low, Nick. Should we adjust?
We should have adjusted it.
are pretty. Can we do 14.5? Is that too
Well,
much?
wait a second. I don't know like half the people in this league anymore.
Okay, all right.
But
We'll
after
stay
about
12
the
and a
top
half.
7, this is gonna get crazy.
I'm gonna set it at 14.5 for no reason other than that it's slightly less than half, and we already know he's got a gimme in the first 5, and the last pick is a gimme. So he's got 6 built in. Okay, he's only got to pick 9 more to beat that. We'll make it official. There it is indeed, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 81 overall. Sonny, as somebody who's broken this team down, this team's built around defense.
Yeah, for sure. They're the number 1 rated team in my optimal rush ranking. Their pass rush actually surprisingly good. Cam Hayward obviously has a big part of that with T.J. Watt, but even Highsmith, the other outside linebacker opposite of Watt, is a big deal. Their run D is really good as well. That front 7 is stout, and I think that's going to be the key for this team. The offense, though, tons of issues, a lot of issues to figure out on that offense, but I think they will eventually be able to overcome. Lib's a great player; he'll figure that part out.
All right, we move on. And here's the other fun part, Bomber. This is, again, it's been 3 years since we've been together. My favorite part is seeing some of the pictures that are coming in because the people in these pictures have changed quite a bit. And you go to ISO, family man, he's got his got kids in the picture. ISO is a little bit of a wild card. I think this is our first one that people didn't really know where he was going to go. He's a Patriots fan, but man, Bomber, that Patriots roster a little rough. A lot of good teams still on the board, though, if you wanted to go just with a powerhouse team.
Let's go ahead and look at what he's got here. Patriots, Chiefs, Titans in his top 3. The mocks have him going the Chargers, the Niners, the Patriots, the Niners. So we know that
chat, where are you guys?
Anymore.
I need to see chat predictions. I need to see some people.
This could be a wild card. I really don't know about an Isley. I need a little bit of help. What does Sonny think?
Yeah, so Isley has always kind of wanted to say it'd be the Patriots, but I think he's going powerhouse here. I'm leaning Chiefs here.
Fat says Chiefs. Miller says Pats. Captain Planet says Pats. Boy, it's been a long time since I've read some of these names in the chats. I still going Chelsea. Bold move. He actually goes to EAFC and selects a team. A wild choice. Let's reveal it. The pick is in, and he is going to the AFC West for the first team in the AFC West. It is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sonny's 4 for 4 right now. And that was a tough one with an isolated. His Lip's going to join us here in just a second. I'm surprised at that pick. What about you, Nick? I mean, it seems like Sonny kind of uses formulas to figure out who an isolated should go to. But I mean,
it's almost like he had the answers. It's like he's almost like he had the answers. It's weird how that happened.
Crazy.
That's good.
Bananas in the chat says, "What a loser." I mean, I'm looking at the team selection, and Bananas didn't make a selection, so. You gotta pick your team, homie. I'm just throwing it out there. That's called throwing stones at a glass house. We go to the 5th pick, and the most handsome of the group. It is none other than me. Hi. It's also weird seeing listed as OSU. That's a throwback.
I haven't seen that in a while.
It's been a long time.
I don't think we could call you anything else, man.
Nah, I didn't think so. I mean, in the same way that
We're not calling you Nick.
Yeah, Dems to breaks.
Can't do that.
I can safely say. I saw about 7 mocks in the chat, and all of them were wrong, which was really cool. They were all like, he's going Browns. I'm not going Browns. Or am I?
Yeah, I see Browns on there. Chiefs are already taken now. Seahawks, Chargers, and top 3 teams being the Niners, the Jags, the Bears. I don't know, Nick, where are you going? Or wait, we got to get Sonny to...
Well, Lip's here. Lip turned on his camera briefly. Nobody here has a camera. And Lip's like, I wanted to say hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if we were putting these gorgeous faces on, mine was included.
Nope.
Definitely not.
I asked Bomber this morning. I'm like, are we doing cams? He's like, I'm not. I'm like, well, then that's decision is made.
That's easy for me. I can put the green screen down now. I can move about the cabin.
Love that. All right, let's reveal it. Where am I going?
Well, Sonny's got to tell us. He's made his prediction. Don't give him one.
Yeah, he made it. And we're going to Chargers.
Ooh.
Going to LA.
It's a good pick.
Good team, young team. Sonny, break it down. Let me know what I'm getting into.
You're getting some cap hell, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Be a talent, though.
Yeah, that team's got some cap issues. It really comes down to you have 2 really expensive wide receivers for 2025. $34 million cap hit for Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So there's going to be decisions to be made there. Khalil Mack, also on the backside of his career, going to be making over $20 million a year. So probably some good free agents to be had coming out of LA, or maybe some trade candidates for people. But, outside of that, right, look, the reason they've got such cap issues because they're a really good team. One of the best quarterbacks in the game in Justin Herbert. You've got a great defense. Like I said, the salary cap issues are there, but the weapons you have are pretty spectacular. Austin Eckler needs to be re-signed as well, but if you can keep him and Quentin Johnson, some of these other weapons you've got, it should be a really good team. Plus, you're in an isolated division, so I mean, you get at least 2 wins a year.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And again, send me trade offers. Send me offers.
Hey, that's what we're going to be saying to Lip after you pick the Bengals, though.
Well, we go to Sonny Weaver, none other than the Forverts man himself. First of all,
Oh wow! It
First
says
of
all
all.
Bengals on the mock here. And what is that portrait? Where did
That's
you
a
get that done?
handsome
That
photo.
wasn't the mall.
That's a handsome
That was
photo.
not the mall.
You got so many
Let
Bengals
me-
in the game.
Sonny's
let
got
me
real
tell you
dad
that,
energy right now. I'm just saying.
Oh my god!
No,
yeah.
that's from a spread from a local magazine where we had one of the fastest growing companies in the city.
Let's
no big deal.
go.
Yeah, so that
go.
we
So
all
I-
grew up except for Bomber, who's still using his picture from high school.
Let me. I feel like I was
Hey, I
then.
think.
I wasn't
ahead.
fair to you. I need to reduce your intro. Coming up next on Team Selection is local celebrity Sonny Weaver.
No, he's
Thank you.
definitely in that picture undermining whatever coach's his kid plays for in the stands.
No,
What
my
is the guy
son's
doing
starting.
out there?
No, he's starting. No, not on the bench, on the field. I will take him out right now.
100%. we make shit happen here. I love it. I'm gonna make a prediction here,
Okay.
and I'm
What
gonna
if-
say
What if he
Sonny
jokes
Weaver
around and he messes it up? Because I'm counting it.
does not
So-
take the Cincinnati Bengals, but instead
Uh huh.
takes the Cincinnati Bengals. Roll it.
There it is. Got it. We're still, it's like we never left. Like highly debatable is still running. Lip, you have your first team in your division. One of, if not the, probably most storied MBL rivalries is back. Sonny v. Lip. How excited are you to be back in the division with Sonny?
Extremely excited. We've played 2 games, and it's I already said it's just like it's back in the old days. It's literally one possession. It's fun every single time, and I'm definitely excited to where it goes this time.
Back at it again. We go to pick number 7. And it is the person that Bomber and I learned at a wrestling house show only roots for heels. That's it. It doesn't matter whether he likes you or not. If you're a bad guy, he's rooting for you. It is none other than Riri himself. It is Draco. Another one that I don't feel like Bomber is a particularly confusing place to where Draco's going. One of the biggest Bears fans we know.
Man, this is an easy 7 for Sonny. I'm glad it's at 14.5 now.
I had to bump
Yeah,
it.
he's a
The
Hill
book's
fan, but-
adjusted.
Got him at 14.5. He's going Chicago Bears. It's no joke. It's no secret here. That's the secret sauce for Draco. Chicago born, Chicago native, going with the Chicago Bears. They have a young team, pretty good team. Sonny, tell us a little bit about them. I know you checked them out just a little bit before this draft. They really are kind of talented coming into this Madden.
Yeah, so let me tell you, they're actually a sneaky good team. I have them at number 8 in my team rankings. Second in draft capital, third in salary cap available. Lots of ability to make some changes there. Justin Fields, I have as a top 10 Madden quarterback here for this cycle. They've got some issues on the defensive side of the ball. Don't get me wrong. They're 25th in coverage, 31 in pass rush. That can be fixed, though, because when you have that kind of draft capital and you have that kind of salary cap and you have the quarterback already, you really have a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, especially Madden-wise, Sonny, picking up the draft picks from the Panthers and DJ Moore, a still, young wide receiver, is a steal in franchise.
Oh, for sure.
Also, I'm going to transition back because I just want to show you Draco's picture. He's still holding the MBL belt, which I love. Shout out to the MBL belt.
Talk about a high school picture photo, man. Update your photos there, Draco. We see what you're doing. Sonny, call him out. You're calling me out.
Sorry.
All right, we go to pick number 8. Is he still Young Gun? Are we still calling Tout Young? Because he was like a baby when we were playing a couple years ago,
with the
and
retainer.
his picture definitely is from about 7 years ago, right?
Okay, so this is the first time I've ever seen him.
You
Okay.
don't,
kinda
you
news
don't
to
know
me.
how tall he is, do you, Sonny?
Isn't he like 6'4" or something,
Yeah,
6'5",
he's like some
freaky tall.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought was also funny, just based on everything else.
right. Everything about this kind of weird. Not gonna lie. This is
It
earth
look-
shattering for me. I've been gone for a while. This is new.
It looks like he's going Cowboys. I mean, every mock says that. I know it's third on his top 3 teams. You see Atlanta,
And
Seattle,
his favorite team is
Dallas.
the Dolphins, which is weird because that's a pretty good Madden team to have.
All four of those teams are available right now.
Yeah.
To be taken. So let's see if he throws a little curveball or if the mocks from the Bleacher Report were correct here if they did their research.
Now they got it. They nailed it right on the head. He is going to Dallas, taking over the Cowboys. A new look Cowboys team with no more Zeke Elliott. You got Tony Pollard back there. But Lip, we know, as people who have played Madden for quite a long time, it doesn't matter what game it is, doesn't matter what year it is, doesn't matter how the game plays. The Dallas Cowboys will always be a little bit juiced.
They'll always have, as well into their 30s, that should probably not be rated the way they are, but we've just come to just accept that every season. But you got a lot of young guys that got a lot of talent. You got Micah Parsons. He's going to be an absolute beast. That's going to be a lot of fun to have. But then you've always got the ability to develop CeeDee Lamb on the offensive side of the ball. And like you mentioned, Tony Pollard coming in at about an 88. That's going to be exciting to see what kind of contract he gets moving forward and how Todd handles that cap space.
So one team down to the NFC East. And we go to pick number 9. It is the fruit man himself, Bananas, who Sonny and I know as a mid-spades player. From Virginia Beach, and who Bomber and I know as the one guy who couldn't handle
Did
anything.
Sonny guess on the tout one?
He went with
Oh, we
Bleacher
already
Report.
did. We
Yeah,
already
he
did.
got it. He knew.
Oh, okay.
Wheel him out of the Airbnb or the aquarium in a wheelchair. It is Bananas, who is another bomber, another one of those wild cards. Kind of a guy who I think most people were looking at as somebody who would see who was gone and around number 9 would then make a decision, as opposed to somebody who had that team in mind already.
Well, you look at Bananas in his history, whether he wants to agree with it or not, he's been running via the front quite often what they like to call front runner in team selection. So when I see these teams, I see these young teams that you can build up here in this franchise mode. Then I see the Chiefs on there, and I really think, man, really, Bananas, you're gonna go to the Chiefs at one point? Is that serious? But I'm not surprised by the front running fruit man. So let's see where he goes, man. My pick's gonna be maybe he does go Atlanta.
What do you think,
I
Sonny?
kind of like that Seattle pick. So I like the Seattle pick because I think in reality he's trying to get away from people, and there's nobody out in the NFC West right now. So he's got to have room for T-Jacks too. So wherever he's going, he's got to have room for T-Jacks. I think it's a little too tight in the AFC West right now for that.
Well, the pick is in, and he is heading westward. It is the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Man, a team who, Sonny, this is a team who I think 3 years ago we would have looked at kind of in cap hell. You had Russell Wilson. You were trying to figure out that defense was kind of all over the place, but they've done a nice job kind of turning it around the last couple of years. You got some questions. Is Geno Smith really going to be the answer for the next couple of years? But DK Metcalf still a young stud, and you have one of the best young running backs in Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah, they've got weapons for sure, and DK and Jackson Smith and Jigba, Lockett, they've got that covered. Geno Smith, the contract that he got is not prohibitive of getting out of it, so it's not too bad there. I think the big question you have here is their O-line's awful, one of the worst in the game. Their defensive line is awful, one of the worst in the game. So you're not going to win on the offensive trenches or the defensive trenches. So if I'm worried right now, I'm worried there about can I get pressure and can I protect my quarterback? 2 questions I'm not sure that Bananas is going to have an answer for right away.
Going to certainly be fun as there's nobody out there quite yet. We move to pick number 10, and it is none other than Brad Lip. We know Brad as the parking wizard of Virginia Beach. So, can handle a semi, but man, that rental car couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, my friend.
That little Miata, he was.
Miata was a Mazda.
I have no idea what it was, but I don't ever
I
want
think
to
it
see
was
it
just an
again.
SUV.
It was crooked, though. It was crooked, okay? Brad, somebody, Lip, who, again, is another one of those I think people were waiting to see. Kind of a wild card there at number 10. Somebody who has been many different teams in the MBL's history.
I think the one of the important things Brad's probably going to look for is a more mobile quarterback. I'm not sure which kind of teams would fit into that, but obviously you've got, Colts, Eagles, Ravens, some of those teams, more mobile quarterback. I'm looking for him to do something like that.
Sonny, you got your prediction?
I don't even know who Brad is. Is that what he goes by in the chat? Do I know Brad? Who are you, Brad?
Brad got here right after you, so no. God, I got to think
Okay.
back to timelines. No, you wouldn't know
Oh, man,
Brad.
that'd be
Guys,
tough.
It's been a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the survey here and say Colts.
Well, can we get okay? So he's going with Colts for Brad here. Can we get like describe Brad maybe in 1 to 2 words so Sonny has a little idea about what he's like?
Trucker fuck. Okay, did I do it right? Did I do it right? Can I say that on here? It's a new channel, right?
I just meant like, what's his name in our chat? Like, I don't see a Brad in our chat.
He's I am Astra.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's like, that dickhead. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, let's go Colts.
Oh man, this is why he's one of the predictor kings. He is going Indianapolis Colts. Sonny, talk about a team maybe future-wise is going to be fun, but a lot of problems this year. Is he going to have Jonathan Taylor on the roster? Because that seems unfair. Taylor's on his way out.
Yeah, so the key is, I think Irsay gave him until Tuesday at 4 p.m. to get a trade finalized. So we're going to know here in the next couple of days if he's playing with the Colts or not. If he's playing with Jonathan Taylor or not. But when you talk about the future, actually the Colts aren't that young of a team. I think there's this misconception that their players are young and good. But my youth power index has them at 26.
Really?
Which is taking into account the best players at the certain age threshold. So they're actually a lot older than people think. You've got Anthony Richardson. You've got Michael Pittman Jr., who's a good player. You've got a lot of questions after that. Jelani Woods is a really nice tight end option in Madden. Jonathan Taylor, obviously, but he's going to be on his way out. So we'll see what happens there. But defensively, I've got a lot of concerns, right? 25th in pass rush, 28th in coverage. What do they do well? They're 6th in run defense. So they can stop the run. But if you want to throw it against these guys, you're going to have all day, and people are going to be running free. So some serious questions here at the Colts. But obviously, Anthony Richardson being kind of a Madden prototypical quarterback, knew they would go early in this.
Is Bob Sanders still there? Does he still have Bob Sanders in the back end of that defense? No?
Oh, for sure. Him and Pat McAfee.
Nice. Awesome. The leg. All right, we flip to the 11th overall selection. It is JB. This seems like one of those. You look at the predictions. Everyone says Panthers. He's a Panthers guy. Is there a chance JB goes anywhere else other than Carolina?
I don't think so. I think he fits in with the rest of the guys that had their team long ago and wants to pick that up and do what he wants. Plus, you got Brian Burns, and then of course he's going to have a quarterback for the entire cycle that also has some ability and some Bryce Young.
Yep.
So that's very exciting for him to have. He's got the quarterback. He's got 4 seasons on a rookie deal, and then he's got the rest of the cycle to figure out the rest. So DJ Chark's going to be a good weapon for him to work to develop with because he's only 26 years old. There's a lot of potential in this team, especially with JB being really good on the defensive side of the ball and always playing really solid, patient offense.
Well, joke's on you. He's taking the San Francisco 40. Oh, that's actually the Carolina Panthers.
Wow. You had me for a second.
Just
I thought.
Brief moment, man. Bringing back the heat.
On Bryce Young, huh?
Almost.
Dude, those jerseys are nice. I like
They're
those
tough.
jerseys. That Brian Burns, that thing's sweet.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, it will be fun to watch. It's always fun to watch people play with the teams that they are fans of, and JB taking that. Now we go from I have no idea how tall JB is, but I do know how tall this next person is. Roughly 4'7". It is Z-Star at the 12 spot. Short King himself.
Is that what he has to wear to climb out of bed?
It's a long fall from the bed to the bottom. He's got to wear a helmet.
Bomber Z-Star, one of those guys, if you look through MBL history, I think one of the guys that I think definitely exemplifies what's great about the MBL, which was he turned into a powerhouse, especially end of the MBL cycle, was a guy who's going to Super Bowls, went from a mid-tier 8-8 guy to making Super Bowls, and really became one of the best players in the NBL.
Yeah, he started developing his team a lot better. He started drafting a lot better and building for the future. And he just saw this slow build, as you said, to a mid-tier, maybe a limping in playoff team, a 5-6. And now he's winning divisions, then he's winning conferences, and then he started winning Super Bowls. And you saw that growth, and now he became a real player, especially for those teams at the top of MBL. Every time you see Z-Star, one of his squads on your schedule, you definitely circle that in the offseason because you know that's something you have to be prepared for, and that's a big win, playoff type atmosphere.
Well, the pick is in, and the Queens, New York native is heading to the G-Men, the New York Football Giants. I mean, mobile quarterback in Daniel Jones. You got Saquon Barkley, who is signed for a year. Dexter Lawrence on the line, new piece in Darren Waller, but man, it's going to be a challenge for Z Bomber because outside of that, wide receiving core very mid to bad, O-line very mid to bad. Like there's going to be a lot of building here. It's going to be a test for team building.
Yeah, and you wonder how long the Daniel Jones experiment lasts. He's one of those quarterbacks that sometimes is going to play well enough to you think you got something for the future. Then he might frustrate you down the line. So that's one of those holes. You just hope Daniel Jones can stay where he's at because he's got that contract and he's essentially, I think he can kind of break into that next level tier of quarterbacks. Has to be a little bit more consistent. But offensively, like you said, it's not about the talent. It's about the speed. They have a lot of speed on offense. 2 wide receivers that can get it done 93 or 94 plus. And then at the tight end, obviously, you bring in Darren Waller. I know he's a little bit older, but he's going to start the game off as a gunner and a runner. So he's got those speed weapons that hopefully offset for, as you stated, the offensive line. Defensive line is not getting pressure, probably not going to do any favors for the offense. So it's going to be, can these speedy guys make up a lot of yards that they're going to need to put points on the board?
There have been talks about maybe a potential trade happening in New York, maybe somebody from Cincinnati. Who knows?
We'll see. Well, we'll go to pick number 13. And Sonny, I want you to take you back to the summer of 2018. And we have our MBL, first official MBL gathering at Sonny's lake house that's not that close to a lake. And this guy who has been in the league for roughly 14 minutes goes, yeah, I'll show up. What was your first thoughts when you saw suspected serial killer Cougs walk into the building?
And let me tell you, so everybody left early that week or whatever to get back on the road, and me and Decca and Coog stayed like an extra night. And I think passed out.
Yep, we did.
But me and Cougs downed a bottle
Crown
of
Apple
Crown. Oh my God, worst night ever. We had a ton of fun. I think that was a good old time. Good old time. He lost a pair of sunglasses at my house that I never found.
He lost a pair of sunglasses and his lunch.
Yeah. Definitely his lunch. And I think and he beat the brakes off Bananas and Mario Kart. And Bananas tried to fight everybody.
Shout out to Metal Mario.
It was a weird night. It was a weird night.
Lip, Cougs Seahawks fan. Seahawks are off the board because Bananas is a villain. So kind of leaves it wide open. Cougs could go a couple different places.
Really excited. Cougs was one of those guys that because whenever he was in around the same time, we didn't quite get to play as often. I was in the AFC, he was in the NFC a lot, so we didn't get to play a lot. But I see Ravens there on his top 3 teams, and I would be extremely excited for him to join in the division because I think we'd have a lot of fun games between me, him, and Sonny. We just got to round it out with the Browns, and we're going to have a great cycle.
Sonny, where's he going?
Hang out with me and Lip. I think it's going to be the Ravens.
Pick is in, and there it is. Lamar Action Jackson Bomber. Cougs is definitely getting suspended a couple of times with Lamar Jackson. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's an absolute. He's going to definitely push the thresholds of, scrambling and then running. I mean, I don't know, man. Cougs is going to do his thing. You got a strong arm quarterback that can get out of the pocket and make things happen. That's a dangerous combination for Cougs because that's kind of his play style. He uses the strong arm to hit them seams and throw it into those tight windows that a lot of quarterbacks can't. And then you look at Mark Andrews. He's just a monster. I hope he keeps him because that is just a tight end you can rely on. He's got great hands, especially catching traffic. So I'm excited for Cougs to get to rocking and rolling with the Baltimore Ravens because it just kind of fits his DNA to me.
Well, we had to pick number 14, and it is T-Jax up for the selection. Wild card, definitely, in terms of where he is going, Bomber. You see up there, favorite team is the Cowboys. They're gone. 49ers are available. Also, the Houston Texans, if he wants to stay in Texas. But there are a lot of really good teams here that I feel like T-Jax could latch on to.
I like the 49ers. I think that'd be a good team for him. I know Serp's sitting there at 16 or 17, and he's hoping the Niners drop to him. So there's a lot. It's going to get interesting here between about 16 to 24 on where these guys go. But if this is truly his list, and you see Niners, you see Texans, Saints, and Cardinals, he's going to be following Banana probably into that NFC West, as Sonny stated earlier. So I'm going to go and say I'm going with Niners or T-Jax.
Sonny? Person that you definitely know in T-Jax? Where's he going?
It's funny enough, we've been talking a lot lately. Here's the deal. I don't think he thought the 49ers would be here. He's looked into a lot of different Cardinals moves. If you're a Cowboys fan, any self-respecting Cowboys fan could not take the 49ers. I mean, you would just be such a piece of shit if you did that.
True.
So I'm going to go with the Cardinals here.
Pretty good point. I changed mine.
Too late, pick us in. You were wrong. It is the Arizona Cardinals. Sonny, break down this one for us, because on the surface, I mean, this is a team who I am of the belief that this season in the NFL is probably going to be the worst team in the NFL, with no Kyler Murray until November, with the pieces that they've gotten rid of, no D-Hop there anymore. This team is in shambles. So give us a little good news for the Arizona Cardinals.
They got a lot of draft capital. So
wow.
Let's talk about the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals as my second worst team in franchise. The only thing they have going for them, they've got the most draft capital of anybody in the NFL. Oddly enough, Kyler Murray, though, still ranks as my number 7 quarterback in my quarterback rankings for Madden, and that really takes into account more that his mobility, his throw power, plus he's pretty young. The contract's not great, but really not a huge issue for him because the salary cap stuff will come off the books here the next couple of seasons with some different things going on there. So they're a good team to rebuild. They've got a lot of options there, but there's not a lot going for them for this year.
Okay, so first of all, the way that you said that they have a lot of draft capital was like when you have a guy come up to you that's like, both my parents died, and I just got hit by a bus, and my dog's gone, and I've not. And well, at least you have your health. Like that was the saddest thing I've ever heard. But I am curious to see. You know, we talk about realism in franchise. If there will be a scenario where Kyler Murray plays too much Call of Duty and his awareness drops by 30, it will be fun to watch. Next up, a man who lives about 4 minutes from me, and I see once every 3 months. It is Project Fat. The Raiders are there.
Let's take them.
Okay, cool. So should I just like...
Can I reenact Fat 4 hours ago?
Yeah, sure.
I was going to take my Raiders, man. Bananas is going to take my Raiders, man. Bananas going to take him, man. He's going to take him.
Well, I apologize. Let me actually intro him properly. The man who only just realized he didn't have the right system to play on 3 days ago. It is Project Fat. Got him. Technological wizard, Project Fat. Yeah, I mean... No surprise. He's going to the Raiders. He's coming to the AFC West. Welcome aboard, my friend. Raiders team in a little bit of flux, Sonny. Got Jimmy G at quarterback. Got some youth. Josh Jacobs still young. Devontae Adams is still really good. And you got Max Crosby to be a cornerstone of that defensive line.
Yeah, so we'll play good news, bad news. Good news, they are better than the Cardinals. Bad news, only by 1 spot. That
hey!
in my rankings. Now, what I will tell you is they've got some weapons, right? Anytime you have Devontae Adams, you've got some nice weapons there. He's getting a little older though; that won't last forever. Josh Jacobs, obviously one of the best backs in the game. He's also very helpful. From a rush standpoint, you've got Max Crosby, you've got Chandler Jones for a year, and then you've got Tyree Wilson, right? The rookie out of Texas Tech. So you've got some weapons there. It's going to be interesting.
There was nothing positive there. I would like to point out that was pretty bleak, but
almost filibuster.
Yeah,
trash talk.
I'm just really excited to get to play Project Fact on his Sega Dreamcast that he got to play Madden 24. It's going to be really cool. We move on to Serp, whose picture is way too cool for this lib. We need to talk to Serp about showing up in a suit. Like, what is this? Like, settle down.
It's a tax.
He looks like the Dos Equis guy's cousin. Like he's also the most interesting man in
He's
the world. But
the Dos Equis guy's the most interesting man in the world, and Serp is like, I'm all right. Pretty interesting. I don't know. All over the place in terms of predictions. The 49ers are there if Serp wants them. And Lip, for Serp, a team with that sort of defense. Are you surprised to see some? I mean, the 49ers are available. The Bills are still available. The Jaguars are still available. These are some good teams that are falling down team selection. But Lip, we've done this enough. We've seen great teams fall into the 20s.
And a lot of it is like the Raiders go in this early, and some teams like that. Like a lot of people pick their favorite
Cardinals.
teams. So, yeah,
The Cardinals
like,
going right.
a lot of things that sometimes the guys like early in the rounds just they want a certain team, whether it's because they want the project or they want their team, or they want a really good team or whatever. And then you've got all of the teams that slide down. But if he wants the 49ers, I would absolutely take him because you've got Bosa for the cycle. You've still got Kittle. You've got Fred Warner and obviously Christian McCaffrey. So they've got a lot of things, and that's not even mentioning Debo. So there's so many weapons on that offense, but he can play his style of game where it's in defense and hopefully not bringing back the blind Serp, throwing interceptions and stuff. But if he can run the ball down to Christian McCaffrey, going to be a good team for him.
The pick is in. And he's heading to the almost polar opposite city of San Francisco. He's heading to Buffalo and taking Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Bomber, that's a lot of firepower for the Serp man.
If you want to come out firing, you want a quarterback, and you want a top-end receiver and a defense that can fly around, get pass pressure, and also defend the pass, defend the run. The Buffalo Bills, they're an older team. And I think that's why you saw them drop now to 16. But at the same time, they are a dominating team, and they are going to be a pinnacle of that division as well as that AFC conference, especially for the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, this is a very dangerous team. Luckily for us, it's in the right hands.
Jeez. Wow.
So the Bills are going to be fine, but just fine.
We're gonna bring shots fired back out here after this show tonight.
It's 82.
Jesus.
It's 82.
We go to pick number 17, and it is the technical support of the MBL, USB wizard himself. It is DB. The young gun, Manny from Modern Family, looking just as youthful as always. Sorry. What? Tell me what was incorrect about it.
Dude, he didn't get the wisdom though. He's like, man, he's dumb, brother.
I mean, and here's the wild part. Like, out of everybody, like, we can name one thing kind of about. I mean, Sonny can't because he doesn't know half the people, but we can name one thing about just about everybody in here. DB's the one that's got far too many monikers. USB wizard, cartoon fan. I mean, like, the list goes on and on.
We're gonna talk about the animated story off the air to Sonny. Catch him up on DB, but I mean, he's got the Dolphins.
We're gonna need like a 2-hour debrief with Sonny. Like, let me tell you what's going on here. This is why nobody likes Brad. Let me tell you about this.
I'm going Dolphins for Manny there.
Sonny, where do you think Manny's going?
That's a tough one. Don't know Manny at all. His top teams are all gone. I see October thought Dolphins, so maybe he knew something. But I'll actually say maybe 49ers. He got excited seeing there was an opportunity there and decided to go 49ers.
I was like, does Sonny know Manny? I'm like, no, Sonny knew Franklin, but not Manny.
It's Franklin.
Thank you. I was hoping somebody was gonna do it. Let's go. The pick is in. He is going to Atlanta and picking up the Falcons.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah. Hey, Sonny. Good news, bad news?
I mean,
Just the 30-second.
Yeah. We got other people to get through, so like we don't need the 4-minute bad news.
It's just they're 20. Actually, funny enough, they're not nearly as bad as I think most people thought. They're back in much better. They got Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell's there. They've got some pieces on that side of the ball. I think they're actually a much younger team than people probably expected as well. They've got some draft capital. I would say the biggest issue for them, who are they going to throw the ball to, right? Drake London, maybe. Kyle Pitts is okay, but the wide receivers really drop off. So kind of weird because Desmond Ritter's not a very good quarterback. But
how long does Desmond Ritter last? as a starter.
Not long. There's not a lot going on there. So kind of weird. There were a lot better options on the table, but yeah, no, don't know him. He looks like he would be like Tout's sidekick in a really bad B-level comedy. But that's basically all I've got for him.
Okay. I don't want to like rag on the kid, but he comes into chat. He just says, I was like 10 seconds from the Ravens. Well, they were picked 4 picks before you, so you weren't that close. But hey, you could say Ravens. They were gone. They were not an option. I got news. Anyways, we go to pick number 18, Captain Planet. He's a hero, going to take pollution down to 0. Who went the biggest memory I have from Captain Planet is going on the weirdest Vegas trip of all time, which was 4 months after COVID. Half the casinos were closed, and he was like, I'm still going. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going too. And we went to Vegas. Everything being closed, it was wild. This one, Lip, doesn't seem particularly difficult. This is a New Orleans boy. He loves the Saints, and they're on the board. So I don't know why Quibble think he was going Washington, because this seems like destiny for Planet.
And it's kind of one of those strange teams where he's got Derek Carr on a 4-year deal, but he's not going to develop. Mara's getting up there for a halfback. You still got the Michael Thomas situation. There's a lot of things, but those things all wash away whenever it's your favorite team. So I'm always excited whenever guys get their favorite teams, and I'm excited to see how long he hangs on to people and how he decides to build this team.
The pick is in.
I got a fun fact for this at the end. Just when we get to the end of Planet, are we there yet?
Oh yeah, we're at the end of Planet. Although I would like to point out that it's been cleared up. The only reason that the Ravens were technically a possibility for DB because Cougs missed his pick. I would like to point out I've been doing team selection. I've done 4 of these. I don't think we've ever had anyone miss their pick. We've had like 3 people miss their pick already, and I'm losing my mind. Like they've picked later than they were supposed to because they weren't paying attention to their DMs. Well, come on, guys. Get your shit together.
Probably watching the show, and the show's delayed, and they're thinking they have way more time than they have. But here's my fun fact on Captain Planet real quick. I'm big and really afraid of alligators. Like, I would never get in the water with them. He actually tells me they've swam in, bayous where the alligators are over here and they're swimming over there. He would be more afraid jumping into a water with a shark than jumping into a swamp with an alligator there, which I think is just pretty crazy in my opinion. Maybe not as crazy as y'all think, but I just couldn't imagine swimming with alligators.
Yeah, that's a hard pass from Nick Mazesco. We go to pick number 19. It is Ric Flair Woo. Who I think, when I think of Flair Bomber, I think of this is the guy who got gifted the Eagles a couple years ago when he came up from Grid and got to play with the Eagles for a while. Another wild card, a lot of options out there, but there's some good teams. A lot of the Bleacher Report team, majority thinking Jets. JB says Bucks. Man, that Bucks team is awful. I don't know who would want that, but a lot of people saying Jets.
And that's it. And the Bucks have a financial struggle. They're in the middle of the storm right now, as opposed to some of the other team that you're going to see in next season trying to just keep the pieces together. The Bucks really kicked the can a little bit on some contracts, and they're still really tight. I know they got $75 million in cap penalty that's going to fall off, but their contracts go up, and there's like 3 people that essentially just eat that right back. And you're not going to get any rollover cap as well. So you look at these teams. I think in Jets or Vikings. Where you at, Lib? Jets or Vikings for Ric Flair? Just go ahead and throw a team out there. I'm with you.
Really like the Jets. They have so much young talent. They have so many young pieces that would be fun to build. Your quarterback's 39 years old. He may be here for a year or 2. It'd be nice to get more than that out of him, but if that's the only thing you have to replace in the first year or 2, Sonny thinks that the quarterback drafts are going to be weak, but usually, at least what I remember, there's always a quarterback that you can pull out and run with, but we'll see.
I mean, that's the face that doesn't pull out whatsoever. Anyways, he is going to the New York Jets, a team that
But he never pulls in either.
All right. Well, sorry, bud. Sonny, this is a weird team because you talk about youth. Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams, still young. There is youth here, except at the quarterback position where they're old, gray, and kind of weird.
Oh, for sure. They do have youth. right? So third in my youth power index, but draft capital 29th, right? They gave a couple picks away to get Aaron Rodgers there. Salary cap's got some issues as well. It'll be interesting to see if Rodgers retires after the first year. I've ran some tests. It looks like he's going to last at least 2 years. So, Rodgers did some moves there to help the cap, but a lot of the same issues I've had with some other places, right? O-line, that's a problem. Rodgers is getting up there. You're going to see some regression. I will tell you, though, if anybody needs pass rush help, the Jets are stacked for days for pass rush. They'll probably trade some of those assets off, try to get some more weapons there for Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, that kind of stuff. But I've adjusted 21 in my rankings, which most people find way too low. But I think there's definitely some issues on the offensive side of that ball.
I've got a jackass crinkling everything in my freezer in here. Are you done yet? Thanks. Appreciate you. Anyways. Good Lord. Like,
did that just show up at your house to annoy you?
No, this is no. No, because Fat's respectful. This is a jackass. Are you quite done? You pulled nothing out of the freezer. You just crinkled everything for no reason. And now it won't close. This is true drop. What are we doing? Tell me what you were looking for. Tell me what you were looking for.
Content right here.
Pizza and taquitos in there. Anyways.
Pizza that's keto?
He was putting pizza and taquitos in there poorly. Oh. He's like the worst Tetris player ever. It's baby food.
I thought you said pizza and keto, or pizza.
Keto pizza.
Keto as well.
It's
right?
keto pizza.
And I heard something about Tostinos, so I wasn't sure.
Still going, huh? Anything else? Dude, this is like 5 minutes. Barbara, you can turn your AC back on. My sound quality has lost its fucking mind. Oh my God damn. Anyways.
Bomber, let's get a temp check. How hot is it?
I'm at 83 right now. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, I'm getting the ears are already, it's really sweaty under these headphones. But 83 ain't too bad. I just when it hits about 85, we need to get it, wrap this up before 85.
Oh my God.
So Nick, just start reading the piece stuff.
It's Reezy. This is what Reezy looks like, which is shocking to me because I've never seen it. He looks like baby Eric G. Like Eric G's little brother. It's wild. There's now other people in here. I want to die. What do you think about Reezy, Bomber, while I mute my microphone? Are you done
Reezy
Now?
Definitely has a punchable face.
Lovable.
But man, his Dolphins are still available, right?
Yep.
I think he's gonna go there. I don't think he's going to be able to resist that speed at wide receiver. Yeah, I'm going to say Dolphins for Reezy, and it's not going to be too surprising. Mm-hmm. Broncos are on his top 3 list.
I mean,
a lot of those seem like a bluff. I mean, Broncos, Falcons, Panthers. Why?
That's all bluff. I agree with you 100%.
I'm going Dolphins. Sonny, where you at?
Let's go Broncos. I think he closes out that division.
Well, when you think talented teams, you think where Reezy is going. It's the Houston Texans.
What?
He listed 1, 2, 3, 6 teams were listed on this graphic, and he bluffed out of everyone.
And Reezy fart noise. It is the Houston Texans. Good news, bad news, Sonny. Good news, they do have a young quarterback. Bad news, they also have the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're actually not a young team at all. They're 31st in my youth power index.
God, they're that bad and old? No.
They are. That's what's
But
wild.
that draft capital.
They have draft capital and they have salary, though, which are the two big things. I will say their weapons are the worst in the league. Their run defense is the worst in the league. They've got bottom 10 pass rush and coverage.
All right, keep going. We got about 40 minutes. Just keep rolling. Their fan base is bottom 5 in the league. Their stadium looks like garbage now.
Yeah, but you got Will Anderson, you got CJ Stroud, you got some fun guys, and the halfback Pierce is a ton of fun in Madden. I drafted him.
Yeah, he's the beast. Shout out to Pierce.
Yeah, that guy's awesome. But after that, it's pretty ugly there.
Lip, we get Reezy and Brad twice a year.
Ooh. That's going to be a lot of fun. Just anytime any graphic comes out, anytime any stat, anything comes out that's even remotely close being involved with these two, there's going to be a large debate in the chat. It's going to be very fun. And just going to sit back and watch.
We got to pick number 21. It is Miller Thriller, who Bomber. When I think of Miller Thriller, I think of a thriller who is Miller because I couldn't think of anything. I'll be honest. Like, Nice guy. It's just an all-around nice guy. That's all I
he's
got.
Captain Planet, man. That's what I think. They're like the same person. I don't know the difference between
He's
either one of
Captain
them.
Planet without the heavy New Orleans accent.
Is he not from New Orleans?
Oh, he's from
I
Shreveport
literally
too. You're both Louisianans, and are you in the
Yeah.
same house? Are you the same person? Are you Wheels?
I think so. The success is about the same too.
Jeez.
How can
So,
you be a Falcons fan living in Louisiana? That seems kind of weird.
This is like P Money and that Dolphins guy.
Is this a free win that he's trying to get over one of his alters, but he's too
Did you
afraid
bring
to make
up
the move?
P Money?
He just splits the one. He splits it 1-to-1 every year.
Dude, he brought up P Money, and October goes Hot Wheels. Like, oh no.
I forgot about that.
Hot Wheels.
Poseidon chaos.
Oh my
Poseidon
god.
chaos. Golly.
What kind of chemistry was it?
Organic.
Uh,
That's a real chemistry. That's a real chemistry. Good job.
Tout with them hard questions, trying to pin him in a corner. Yeah, what type of chemistry?
Jeez. Let's just get to it. Pick is in. And he will be heading to Washington, taking the role of, I don't know, is he Dan Snyder? Sorry, Dan, you're out. The Commanders.
What's his name? Yeah. Josh Harris. The guy who shook. What's his?
Can we? No,
Oh,
time
yeah,
out, time
yeah,
out,
yeah,
time out, time out, time out. Everybody stop talking. Who made this graphic? Who made this graphic?
That would be.
Did Jordan make this graphic? Or did JB?
It was Jordan.
Okay, because that says wide receiver.
you're on the
That
Washington one,
says
right?
wide receiver Terry McLaurin. The Tur.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sonny. Where do you have Ter McLaurin listed in your wide receivers?
Oh, he's very good. I love me some Terry McLaurin.
Terry McClure.
I will be calling him Scurry Ter
Dish.
McLaurin.
Get some of that Terry McClure.
What is happening in my life? We go to pick number 22. OG in the channel and Lip. He's wearing the old MBL network hat.
Well, the NFC East is filled now, right? Cowboys,
Yes, it is.
Commanders,
It is filled.
Giants, and Eagles. Wow, that was the first one to close.
October, Tout, Z-Star, and now Miller. It's going to be a fun division.
Congratulations.
Play is up next, Lip, wearing the oldest MBL hat that was ever created. I think I still own that hat. I think it's somewhere. Talk about an OG. I mean, this is as OG as an OG gets. Was around when football was invented and now playing in the MBL.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for can't wait for everything that comes with play. I missed you being around. I'm so excited to interact with him again, and it's so.
Shout out to Play. He's actually playing really good at this Madden. And I've played him like in 3 games, and he didn't cuss me out during the whole thing at all. It was very peaceful, man. I think he's been he might be cloned.
Somebody else is playing for him. It's not even cloned. Like, he just got somebody else on the
I
sticks.
told him that halfway through. I was like, "Can you tell your nephew to pass that stick back to you, bro?"
Nephew. Yeah, okay. Sonny, you know Playa. Where's he going? There's a lot of good teams still out there. Niners still on the board. Dolphins on the board.
Yeah, what
I
is
like
going
the
on?
Texans too, but
Yeah,
they're gone.
I can see him going Browns. I can see him going Browns. I kind of like that pick.
The pick is in. Actually, one of the picks that was on my list for a while, and I think on Banana's list, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sonny, this team has to be one of the more fun teams to build around because you have a young quarterback. Calvin Ridley's still fairly young. You got some youth, but I would not say like particularly young wide receiving core, but you've got a quarterback running back duo in Lawrence and ATN that you can really build around.
Yeah, not so fast, my friend. 25th in the Youth Power Index. So the
What were they drafted at? 20,
Is it because they have Marvin Jones because he's like 100 years old, or is he on the Lions
Oh,
now?
Marvin Jones is a lion.
Nah, it
Back on
sucks.
the line.
And he's
That
a
dude's like
starter, but
105
that
years
dude
old.
goes-
He just keeps going between
Minimum
Detroit
down.
and Jacksonville, depending on where he wants to summer. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, at the end of the day, they do have a really good team, and Lawrence and ETN obviously are on the younger side. Evan Ingram's a little older than people I think probably think. Christian Kirk's getting up there in age. Ridley is right on the break of being considered an old Madden player. So, I mean, they've got good weapons. Don't get me wrong, but they're a little bit older. Their O-line is absolutely awful.
Putrid. It's actually putrid. Like, it's really bad.
It's very bad. their pass rush, they got some guys there that you're hoping will develop, but they haven't to this point. And then their back end coverage is just no good whatsoever. So I think they'll be a fun team to play with offensively. I think defensively you got a ton of work to do, but at least you know that you've got your quarterback locked up for the cycle.
Only one spot left in the AFC South. We head to pick number 23, and this is where we're going to get into some of these guys that I have no idea. Dad's here. Bomber, what can you tell me about Dad?
Base? You say it, Sonny. Base? A line was supposed to be the joke, but he didn't do it. Okay.
All right. Good joke. Nailed it.
Was the Patriots? That's the fan. A big Patriots fan over here. They're still available. Mac Jones and company. They do got Zeke Elliott now. He doesn't necessarily feel too fondly about Bill Belichick. Often undermines anything that Bill Belichick does after the fact.
Seems disrespectful.
But a diehard Patriots fan. I think that's how, some of their fans have fell into that way.
Well, he gets to be Bill Belichick in the MBL. He's taking over the New England Patriots.
Well, wait a second. No, he doesn't, because Bill Belichick is not at Madden.
It's a legally distinguishable code from Bill Belichick. It says not Bill Belichick. I'm still
legally distinguishable.
All I'm saying is I've gone to Orlando quite a bit, and I keep petitioning for them to put my face in as the Patriots head coach. Like, if you're just going to use a random guy, put me in.
It really pissed them off that they put Bill O'Brien in instead of Bill Belichick.
Oh no, not like this.
They have his face scanned. They should.
I will say this: out of all the teams in the NFL that you could pick, the Patriots were definitely my bottom three because I hate that team. Like, this team is bad. I really hate them.
There's nobody over 90 overall, and the closest guy is 31 years old at 89 overall, and he's paid $16 million a year. So there's a lot of work to be done with that team. I'm not sure if there's much that you can keep. Sonny, where do these guys rank in terms of overall youth? And I can't even say youth.
The youth power index, sir.
Yeah, they actually checking at 22, Lip, funny enough. So here's what's funny about the Patriots, right? They do have a lot of really kind of old guys that, they're not household names. They rate really well in Madden. They do have some younger guys, though. And I think what you're going to find is they've got a really good offensive line. Nobody thinks about that. They're sixth best offensive line. They've got a ton of salary cap. Not a ton after that. But I will tell you, like Josh Uche, they've got a couple other guys on that defensive line that are pretty good. I have their pass rush actually that's 14th, which I never would have guessed. But Mac Jones and his 85 throw power is basically a killer for me.
Yeah, I was like, you mentioned a lot of good players, and Mac Jones's name didn't come up. Weird.
I want nothing to do with that, though, unfortunately.
Noodle Arm Jones for Dad. I can't call him Dad. I need a new name. Come up with a new one, because I can't. Anyways, we go to Gov.
Daddy.
Now we're talking. We go to the governor. With his Velcro beard. Favorite team is the Eagles. The Eagles are in his top three teams, and Bomber in the NBL, we like to squash dreams. You do not get the Eagles, my friend. So where does he go otherwise?
No Philly today. I'm trying to pull up his card. Okay, there we go. So we got Eagles, Bucks, Falcons. I think Tampa's still alive in there. If he was
they are
Tampa.
still alive in the NBL. Are they alive in the NFL? Not really, but they are alive in the NBL.
Yeah, they're hurting for money. That's a team that financially you need to take a look at that twice before you put it in your top three. But is it a bluff or not? Just because I see different teams on the mock and I see different teams on the top three, some of those teams are available. Not the Bills, not the Texans, the Dolphins. They're gone, right? Are they still there?
They're still around. Sonny, how have the Dolphins fallen? So, tell me what's wrong with the Dolphins.
Well, let's talk about this for a second. You've got the Dolphins falling. You've got the 49ers falling. You've got the Green Bay Packers, who are actually a really good team, falling. You've got the Cleveland Browns falling. Like, we've seen a ton of really solid teams falling down the list, and the only explanation is people, I think, were scared to an extent of who would follow them into some of these divisions. I think a lot of people thought that AFC East division, with as good of teams as it has, would fill up with really good players, but it hasn't. So then this is where we end up.
Well, the pick is in. And when you think good quarterbacks, you think Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's where he's going. Lip, was there any chance of you at number 2 taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like, or 3? Were you thinking like, man, Baker seems like fun to play with for an entire cycle?
Oh, I can't say
He
that.
does have 95 throw power though. I don't know.
It's going somewhere when he throws the ball. Like,
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is there's no money wrapped up into him. You just, it is what it is for a year. But the good part is, I mean, you got Tristan Wirfs for the cycle. Vita Vea is still going to be a really good defensive tackle up front. And then Mike Evans, as long as he lasts, there's
You
some
gotta cut.
options there.
Everybody except one of those you have to cut
Oh, yeah?
to make it to the next one. I mean, I don't know. Or we're going to be in there untangling this weave that he might web here, Lip, because this team is in a real crucial state right now. That their moves have to be precise. You can't have any misstep financially. But, yeah, the first year out, I think the team actually isn't too bad. It's just I'm worried about that second year and that third year when you have to make those financial decisions.
we go to pick number 25. It is Quibble. Sonny, you and I are in the same boat here, so let's talk about Quibble, a guy who we know very well. I've seen him talk in chat a lot. It seems like an okay dude. What do you think of Quibble?
This is actually really funny. I've talked to him a lot.
Really?
Frankly.
Good. Then help me, because I haven't.
Weirdly enough, he thought he was going Vikings because there's no way in hell the 49ers were going to beat there. In fact, he'd already worked out a trade to get Brock Purdy from the 49ers to the Vikings for Kirk Cousins. What I can tell you now, though, is there's no reason to do that. Just go take him and run with it. So he'll be the 49ers.
Favorite team, the Niners, and he didn't even put him on his board. Nobody even guessed it because nobody believed the San Francisco 49ers could drop that low in the MBL team selection draft. And here at 25, we get another homecoming. That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
As Lip stated earlier, Lip, another guy taking his home team.
Can we talk about Quibble? Is a
love
Rochester,
it.
New York guy? Shout out to Rochester. That's my hometown. Yeah, he's going 49ers. Bomber, talk about a absolutely loaded roster. This team, especially defensively, this team's going to be a problem. And he goes out west, and he's going to need some defense because he's got somebody like Bananas out there that he's going to have to play defense with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Really good fit, and you love seeing somebody at 25 get his team.
Defensively, it seems like the rich get richer as it goes with the San Francisco 49ers. Even what's the guy's name? And I can't pronounce it. The safety that was a rookie last year. He had the
Hufanga?
Yeah, that's another stud now that you got on your defense here. So defensively, it's no brainer. Front seven, I love this team, but they're gonna have an issue at quarterback. They're gonna have to bring in somebody that is gonna be much better than Brock Purdy because I just don't think Purdy's gonna get it done here in the NBL.
Sonny, I'm not gonna lie. 49ers were in my final two. I was between Chargers and Niners. Your question is quarterback, really. That's it. And I guess by the time we start, Trey Lance won't be there. So it's Purdy or bust.
Yeah, well, honestly, Sam Darnold's probably a better Madden quarterback than Purdy at this point with his 84 throw power. But 49ers still reeling a little bit from that Trey Lance trade, and draft capital wise, not in the greatest position ever, but starting to make their comeback. 27th in salary cap, though. The 49ers have issues with their salary, and that's even without paying a quarterback, right? Nick Bosa is not going to be cheap. They haven't done his contract yet, so you're going to have to do that. They've got high-priced players up and down. Trent Williams, left tackle. There's some things there, but let me tell you, it's a good problem to have because you have a really good team here. The best weapons in the game. People say, what? George Kittle, CMC, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, like they've got weapons for days. Fourth and optimal rush, one of the best pass rushes in the game, one of the best run defenses in the game. Their back end coverage is pretty average, but this team's got a lot to love about them.
And by the way, I mean, this is what's crazy. You look at this Niners roster, they've got a top, I mean, wherever you want to put Christian McCaffrey, 2, 3 running back. They've got a top 2 tight end. They've got a top 10 wide receiver, and they've got a top 3 pass rusher, and probably the best middle linebacker in Fred Warner.
Yeah.
I mean, this team is absolutely stacked.
It's anchored up by Trent Williams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this team is actually loaded.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's the best one of the best tackles in the game, too.
Next up, we've got Airbnb's 1-star rating. It is the porch pisser himself, Porter.
The porch pisser.
Ports McGorts. Lip,
Steelers still out there, right?
they are. You think? Lip, do you think Porter's disappointed that the Commanders didn't fall to him?
I don't know, probably
Hey, the
because
Dolphins are still there.
yeah.
They're there.
He's got to take the Dolphins.
there.
Come on,
Yeah,
Porter.
I mean that's a really good team left. Obviously Steelers and Washington are gone, so he's got to go Miami. It's there. You put him in his top 3. The move. Let's go.
And they're gonna have some speed at wide receiver. If you didn't know already.
Yeah. Nick, we really appreciate you. You were a great guest. You should probably find some new friends like that. Probably get rid of that Porter guy, but the rest of them were really, really good guests. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Sonny, you missed Virginia Beach, and it was an adventure. No surprise there. Gouda himself, Porter, picking up Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I mean, Sonny, offensively, this team is loaded. Defensively, they pick up Jalen Ramsey. I mean, you've got a pretty good start of that cornerback. What's crazy is how far. Remember a couple of years ago, wasn't Xavier Howard one of the best corners out there? And now all of a sudden, he's fallen off a lot.
Yeah, he's broke down. I will tell you, Madden-wise, he's still got a year or so left in him, but definitely not a guy you're going to count on long term. The other thing is, like, people forget Jalen Ramsey's in his late 20s. He's going to start on the backside too. Obviously, for this cycle, he should last pretty well, but that degradation is coming. But you get beyond that. When you get beyond that, the offense is just spectacular, right?
Yeah.
You've got 2 of the fastest guys in the entire game that are just going to dominate on the outside. The only problem is you got a quarterback that is going to struggle to get him the ball, and Tua. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if Tua is the long-term answer there for Porter. He's due a contract here too another year. So does Porter pay Tua? I don't know. But that'll be an intriguing question to figure out.
He closes out the AFC East, so that division, Porter, Serp, Flair. I mean,
Okay.
talk about open, and then you got Dad. You got Daddy. So makes me comfortable. So good to be back in the MBL. It's been a fun ride. I'm out. Next up, we got to pick 27. It is Tolly. Sonny, what do you think of Tolly? Have you talked to Tolly a lot?
I actually have talked to him.
Of course you have. You talked to every.
Dude,
I don't know any of
gathering.
these guys. I've only talked to all of them.
You see his moves here? He's gathering from the bottom. He's starting his
The trape
clan.
begins.
Gotta make some connections.
If you're a little crazy, man, he gets there and makes those connections, so you give him those friendly deals on those team trades.
I got you, man. Only a 6th
Ball
round
flirt.
pick will get you this cap hell. Come on, send it over.
Yeah, this will be an interesting one. Obviously, everything on the board's off,
Gone.
right? Yeah, so you start looking at what are the best teams available. It's probably the Browns.
Browns, yeah. Browns, Packers.
Yeah, I think Browns Packers are both in that discussion.
But could he take Packers with the Bears being his favorite team? They
That
know
would
you're
be
from
weird.
Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, let's use the old idea here that if he can't be the Packers, he's the Browns. Tally's the Browns.
Well, the pick is in, and I'm having flashbacks. The only thing I think about this team is for 3 years, this team was absolutely unpickable. It is the Minnesota Vikings. Sonny, remember their cap structure about Madden 17 and 18?
God.
They were 32 every year because you could not use this team.
You couldn't make
Well,
any
that was
money in
back-
owner mode either.
Yeah, we were doing owner mode, and their stadium was screwing them up, and you basically lost everybody on your team, which was always hilarious. Because people would take them and then think they could fix it, and you can't fix them. It's almost like that girl who you're like, I can fix crazy, and then you figure out, no, you can't, and she slashes your tires. That was the Minnesota Vikings for the longest time.
I've slashed tires just like the broken roof of the Metrodome. Congratulations. Bomber, you got a division mate. Another one. It is you, Draco, and Tolly, one team left. Are you excited to beat Tolly twice a year?
I'm not gonna go that far.
You're way more
Yeah,
diplomatic than
pretty
you were 3 years
excited
ago.
about
I need ruthless Bomber back. Okay, this is some bullshit.
Look,
Okay,
look,
I won't go
Minnesota
that far.
Vikings-
He's a nice guy. Shut up and tell him where his place is.
Oh, he's not a nice guy. He's freaking nuts, man. And I'm scared of him, dude. To be honest with you,
That's why
he's had some rage moments, man, where I just leave, man. Look, Minnesota Vikings, that's surprising because he's a Chicago Bears fan. I didn't expect that. I didn't know he's from Chicago. I thought he was from California, to be honest. So taking the Vikings, that's interesting. Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins, underrated Madden quarterback. For the first season, he's there, man. Like, he's only one of 2 quarterbacks with 90s in the short, mid, deep accuracy in the game. The other one, obviously, is Patrick Mahomes. So I think, this could be a team out of the gate that could give everybody in this division problems. Except for probably me.
There you go. That's what we were looking for.
That
Thank
was
you
fun to
so
hear.
much.
I'm sorry, Tally made me do it.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
We go to pick number 28. It is Ura. Lip, all I know about Ura is my first interaction with him was him whining about how bad the game was literally 13 minutes after it released. So I can't wait to see how he does in MBL. Not a lot of teams left, though.
Justin Bieber right there. Look at that.
With the is that a Preds jersey? It's got to be a Preds jersey.
Yeah, he's pretty obsessed with the sports teams.
Tennessee,
In
Nashville.
Tennessee. That's
Okay.
good.
Hey, the
good.
Titans are out there, aren't they? They're still available,
Yeah.
right?
Titans are out there. They've got some pieces, some players.
Wow.
The star power right now is a little bit older. Henry's 29. Hopkins is 31. There's obviously some potential with this team, and if it's your own team, like I always say, I'm excited to watch him build and see which direction he takes it.
All right, the team's there, so he's going to take him. You love seeing a guy get his hometown team. It is the Titans. Sonny, team seems kind of rough, dude. I mean, Derrick Henry back end of the career. You do technically have youth at quarterback. It's just not good quarterbacks.
Well, look, here's the thing. The Texans are going to be a place where people look to dump cap. So you can rebuild that team quickly. They've got the first most salary cap available in the league. So they're going to be able to take on everybody else's cast off. So if he wants to be competitive right away in that division, he can just start taking it. People will start trading here tonight probably. And look, there's a lot of people that got dump cap. He won't have to. So I think you can turn the team around quickly.
I think one of those quarterbacks too.
Around.
I think Malik Willis, Sonny, is going to. If you hold off for the right opportunity with the right person, gets frustrated with the quarterback. They're looking for a strong arm quarterback also that has mobility. Malik Willis's physicals are still pretty freaky out there, and his ability to drive the ball down the field, he's shown that. So you take somebody that feels like they could be in a better spot with his youth at quarterback and someone with his intangibles his physicals, then that could be another way to accumulate some draft picks or players.
Which that fills up that division. The AFC South is filled. We've got Ura, we've got Playa, we got Reezy. Who else do we have in there? Who else is in the? Oh, and Brad. Brad, Reezy. It's going to be a battle to watch. And then you add in Ura and Play. I mean, talk about, you got old, young rivalries. I mean, that's a wild division. That's just a wild division all around. You got to pick 29. It is Redemption. He's got a cat in his picture. Pretty cool.
Oh, of course he does.
All right. Only 4 teams left, Bomber. Browns, Rams, Packers, Broncos. Where do you see Redemption going?
I got a joke that wouldn't make air.
Okay.
I'll tell it to you later. All right, so I'm looking at these mocks. Oh, Green Bay's on there. And the mocks, that's probably more truthful than the 3 that he gave at the top. Vikings aren't there. Raiders aren't there anymore. Rams are not a good team cap-wise, and they're gone too, right? Are the Rams gone? No, they're not gone yet.
Nope.
And that's probably, me and you talked about that being one of the worst teams. Just taking a quick glance at what they have to offer and what they're going to be like in 2 or 3 years. It's just not a great financial situation either. I see Broncos, Green Bay. Are Broncos still available?
Broncos are available. And I mean, let's be clear. 3 of his teams are available that are listed up there. Broncos, Packers, and Rams all available.
I just don't see Rams. Broncos, Packers, I'm splitting it between those 2.
Sonny, if you had a choice between those teams, is Packers or Broncos? Because the Rams are just a disaster.
Yeah, I would be going Green Bay if this was me.
Bomber, your division is closed out. Redemption taking the Green
can't wait.
Bay Packers.
I'm gonna have him beat out of this league, guys, by 2.5 seasons. Book it. I'm taking care of all you guys' problems and griefs with this guy. Just 2.5 seasons is all I ask. And we'll definitely shoot the under on that one.
I'm seeing a lot of ducks in the chat. What are we talking?
I think this ties back to some things were talked. There was an opportunity for him to jump in there with bananas, and he decided to go another route.
All right, I'll take care of it, guys.
So that division is closed out. So it will be Bomber, it will be Redemption, it will be Tally, and it will be Draco. What do you think of that division? What's your early thoughts?
I think that's going to be a pretty good. Yeah, it should be a nice competitive division.
Tally says me and Poodle out of MBL for M25. Good Lord. It's a good start.
I'm trying to catch up on the ducking thing I hear. As you said, yeah, he could have gone with the Rams and jumped in that division, but decided to pass on that.
Quack.
Packers must have a better team than I thought. I haven't really checked out their roster. I know J.R. Alexander's rated extremely high. Rashawn Gary's, he's a beast. I've actually played against them, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like Green Bay was the team at this point. But Sonny seems to be really high on them, so they must have some talent.
All right, we go 3 picks left. At pick number 30, it is Jordan. It's, I believe, how I'm supposed to pronounce it. No vowels at the end there. 3 teams left. Broncos, Browns, Rams. Sonny, give us the ranking where you would have those in franchise with those 3 selections.
Yeah, right now it'd be sitting Browns, Broncos, Rams. He's got Broncos on his team, but was that because he thought that would be what he has? Is you want to come play with Lip, me, and Cougs in a relatively tough division, take the Browns. But, oh, by the way, you have an awful salary cap. You have to dump a bunch of people for a year, too.
Good pat on the back there. Our division's pretty tough. We're all really good at Madden, I just like to point out. Well, no, he's coming to my division because he's taking the Denver Broncos. You love that. He just could have gone to the tough division, instead comes and plays with me, ISO, and Fat. So, pretty cool.
He does take a team that's significantly behind, though, man. This is a risky situation to take these Broncos. I just don't have much faith in them, especially with that Russell Wilson contract.
Yeah, Sonny, what's their cap situation? Because there is youth here. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton is still relatively young. You got Pat Surtain in the back of the defense. Like, there is youth out there, but this Russ contract has to hurt them.
Yeah, tell us how bad this Broncos team is.
Yeah, go bad news. I need the bad news. I need to feel better about this. So tell me how bad they are.
Well, beyond just the cap space, which puts them at 25th, draft capital, they're 30th, right? They're still reeling a little bit from a couple trades made there. So not going to have a ton to rebuild. Russell Wilson's contract's a boat anchor. I think you're at least one more year before you can dump that. He's down to a 78. Not a very good quarterback. The wide receivers, doing okay. Jerry Jeudy still got some life in him. A little bit younger, but Tim Patrick's getting older up there. Cortland Sutton's starting to age out. There is a rumor that Albert O could be gone before the trade deadline, right? Everybody loves Albert O, the super speedy tight end. There's a chance he may not even actually be there come time the league starts. So I will tell you the defense has some options. Number 4 on the coverage side, so they've got a nice back in there. They could use some pass rush help, though.
MBL's now officially starting when that tight end is released.
Just like to point out, Ura said that Jordan's run that division, so I timed him out for 10 minutes, so he's going to miss the rest of the show. Had to cut that down pretty quick. I mean, he's not wrong, but shut up. 31st, we got Slam. Boy, that hat's about 4 sizes too big, my friend. 2 choices here, Lip. Browns, Rams. You hope he's coming to your division?
Because we were Chiefs Raiders a while ago, and it was a very fun time. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I bet you it was a fun time for you, Lip.
It's gonna be.
That was some good games, wasn't it?
But
He was stomping
Okay,
them.
wait a second. He says I'm not from Virginia. So who put he's from Virginia on there?
You're not from Oakley, Virginia? Someone just made that up?
Someone just made that up.
JB just gave
We got a crack graphics team here at the NBL Network. Scar-Tur McLaurin and not Virginia Slam.
Maybe you meant Oakland, California, but you got Oakley, Virginia.
Yeah, close enough. It's fine. Shout out to JB.
The minute you say, JB's from Carolinas, man, so he doesn't know much about the
Guard. I'll tell you.
And he goes, Lee, Virginia? I got you.
Got you. Done. Pick is in. 31st. It's going to your division, boys. Lip, Sonny, he is taking the Cleveland Browns. It is crazy, Lip, to see a team 86 overall fall all the way to 31. That's just sometimes how it goes.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it was just like that Vikings team that we had talked about. That there was some interesting pieces there, some players that you wanted to use, and you just couldn't. And sometimes teams like this fall just because people don't want to deal with the cap issues. There's a lot of great players there. I'm not exactly sure what all the cap issues are and what would need to be done to navigate that. But Sonny, what do you think is going to have to be done to salvage this Browns team?
C and V are right next to each other on the keyboard. Oh my god, that's so good. It's such a good typo.
Oh,
Yeah, so they're gonna have to cut Amari Cooper, trade Amari Cooper. He's got to go. They got to do a ton of restructuring. Myles Garrett's probably getting restructured. Maybe Deshaun Watson. Not so familiar with the dead cap rules in MBL, but Deshaun Watson could potentially be gone after year one to make this thing work. And then not a restructuring, but you're gonna be a little bit in cap help for the next couple years. But that's okay. You don't need to go get a bunch of free agents because you have a really good team.
You got the talent. Yeah, I agree with
Right,
Sonny.
you've got a really good team.
It's one thing to be in a cap situations where you have high talented guys getting high talented contracts, and it's some where your team's already pretty much loaded to the brim, but they're loaded with talent and quality players, and I think that's the same thing with the Browns right now. They do have a lot of talent. They don't really need to go out and get anything, and like you said, the quarterback position. Look at that salary. If they can do something with that, that could definitely open up a good amount of space for them to be, involved in the free agency at least, or at least bring on some draft capital that they can afford.
Last but not least, it is Sal. He's happy because doesn't have to make a pick at 32. We're gonna see if Sonny's good. Sonny, who do you think Sal's taking at 32?
He said he's happy just because of the picture.
He's just happy to be there. That's all I got, man. What do you want from me? Seems like he's got probably owns at least one pair of sunglasses and one cap. I don't know what you want from me. That's all I got.
That's all I know is about Sal. Look, they're going to be the Rams and Bomber. I definitely hit the over on that 14-5, so thank you very much for that.
I mean, he cheated. He did research and apparently talked to every person from 25 to 32.
He starts from the bottom up. He searches the least active in chat, and he just starts working his way back.
Got to work the phones, baby. Got to work the phones.
Anything good to say about this team? Aaron Donald's a 99.
Play Stafford. Don't give up on him. Give him a year. He might give you 2.
Look, everybody thinks they have salary cap issues. They really don't. They've got their 5th in salary cap, so you're going to be able to rebuild. Again, another one of those teams where I think if you're smart, you're going to look at Aaron Donald, you're going to look at Cooper Kupp and say, maybe I'm going to get rid of these guys, right? Maybe I'm going to unload these guys, at least one of them, and try to start rebuilding your team. And I think that's probably what I would look to do is tear it all down.
Yeah, you got to trade Kupp and maybe even Aaron Donald. That's a good point. Cooper Kupp definitely could be on the block.
Well, that wraps up all the selections. Gentlemen, before we get out of here, I think it's always fun just to get one sum up of one thing that surprised you, the most surprising thing, whether it's a team falling, whether it's a person selection. Sonny, I'll start with you. What was the most surprising thing about the MBL Madden 24 team selection show?
I think it was as far as those 49ers fell, right? Like I had them as a top 4 or 5 team for me. They fell all the way down to 25. I don't think there's many leagues where they get out of the top 5 or 10. So for the fact they made it to 25, that was really shocking to me.
Lip, what surprised you?
Yeah, I was gonna say 49ers, but because I just enjoy that they fell to quibble with that far in the draft. But then on the other end of things, some surprising things, like T-Jack's taking Cardinals at 14. I really didn't see. I mean, I understood that, why he wanted to do that, but there's a lot of other teams that fell. Miami falling, that was an interesting one as well. Even the Jets, I like the Jets a lot. Them falling to 19, I didn't expect them to fall quite that far. So there's a lot of teams that are exciting to see, the users that they're moving forward with. So I think we're gonna have a great cycle. There's a lot of really competitive divisions as well that I'm excited about.
Bomber, what surprised you here in the team selection show?
I got nothing, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Project Fat said I can't bring this up anymore, so I'm going to tell you one last story about Project Fat and my girl Hillary. Hillary was asked on the streets, hey, did you hear it from the paparazzi? They're like, hey, did you hear it? Fat's back in the NBL. What do you think? And she looked dead in that camera and said, not thrilled, and left. So it's going to be a wild ride for Project Fat this cycle. And we're excited and we're ready for the bumps and the lumps that come along with every Madden cycle. And I'm excited to have the NBL back. And that's my final story for that one. Tell Fat I love him. But yeah, that's that.
No, that's great, man. Can't wait for the new Vegas Raiders owner in week 4. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Chat, you guys have been awesome.
Isn't Fat there?
He's not in my house. He lives in the same city. He's not in my house.
Yeah, he was coming. Oh, he was on the phone when he was panicking. Bananas is gonna take the Raiders. Bananas is gonna take, and he was like, "I'm going to Nick's house right now."
Yeah, then he texted me. He said he was too sleepy to come over. So fair enough. Fair enough. He's still asleep somewhere in the Virginia Beach house. Chat, you guys have been awesome. It is good to be back. It's good to have the MBL network back up and running. Make sure you hit that follow button. It's a new channel, so y'all need to do it again. Hit the follow button so you know each and every time we go live, because we will have plenty of content coming on the channel in the coming weeks. For everybody here on the Team Selection Show, for Lip, Sonny, and Bomber, I am Nick Mazesco. Thank you so much for tuning in to the MBL Madden 24 Team Selection Show. We'll see you all year long right here on the MBL network.